It's Pamela again from God's Treasures. This is my second video, really my third, because my first one I did like many years ago, and I just didn't do anything with the channel for many years. I guess I gave up, just like I do a lot, like I've done a lot in the past. I just I just wanted to come on here and just talk to you a little bit about the wilderness experiences that we go through, about times when it seems like our prayers aren't getting answered, when we feel alone. You know, we all seem to go through that. But in retrospect, we're not alone. Our prayers have been heard. And if we would just, I guess, take what our prayers are, what we've asked God for, what our hearts are aching for, and give it back to Him. Pray to Him and tell Him what's on your heart, just what you're feeling and stuff, and then and leave it with Him. That's kind of what I do. Is I start my day and I'll go, and when it's all quiet and it's very early in the morning, the first thing I do is I go praise God. I find many things to be blessed for. I could start out with anxiety and I'm feeling very stressed and worried, and things look very grim and dark. And then I start praising Him. And then it's like I have a different outlook on things then. I start finding peace. But then I ask Him for peace. And then when I surrender everything to Him, and I mean everything, I give Him everything. Even my brokenness, my worries, my anxiety, everything. And I give it to Him. That's what it is when you give Him all your brokenness, everything that breaks you and hurts you, and He turns around and He takes that and He heals you. He restores. He does more and gives you more than what you ask for. It's kind of like the illustration of the little girl that she's standing in front of Jesus, and she has this tiny little teddy bear, and she has it in front of her, and then Jesus has this humongous teddy bear behind His back, and He's asking her to give up the little one, to let it go, give it to Him. And she's like, no, 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 I can't do that. And she's scared, and then she tries to, but then she takes it back. And all along, He has 3 times the size for her. That if she only knew. And friends, that's exactly the way it really is with God. There's so many times in my life where I've been so scared to let something go, and I give it to Him, and then He gives me back something. And when it hits me, when He does answer that prayer, it hits me like a ton of bricks. And it's like, if I hadn't have given Him this, if I hadn't have let go of this would have never happened. Or I'll look at it like, I see now why He didn't give it at the time He did, or why He didn't answer right when I wanted Him to, because He was trying to give me something so much more, and it took this certain amount of time. It took this time in period of time to bring it about that would make so much more difference to me. It would make it more rewarding if He did it at a certain time. Not on your timeline, on His. He knows when it's best to do it. I've learned that. It's just kind of like, for a sample, when my fiance left, we didn't really have a lot. I had little boys and everything, and and at the time I wasn't working. I was a stay-at-home mom, and he was the one working. But he left, and we didn't have anything, and I prayed to God. I was starting to really get closer to God. I gave up everything and was baptized and saved and everything. That really made me turn to Him. But at this particular time, I had just got on my knees and I was like, God, we don't have anything. We don't have enough money for food. I can't pay these bills. I need help with these boys. Please, if you're there, if you're listening to me, please. And then not even 2 minutes later, there was a knock on the door, and it was her neighbor. It was the first time I've ever met her. She comes over there and she says, I just want you to know if it is, she said, God has been telling me to come over here, and I've been putting it off. She said, but he just kept coming to me. I couldn't ignore his guiding this time. I had to come over here. She goes, is everything okay with you? She goes, is something wrong? I feel like there's something. I had to come over here. And I just broke down and I started crying and I told her, and she said, well, God told me to give you this. And it was $100 bill. And I just broke down, and she said, I just want you to know right now, she said, this is definitely of God. She said, because the other times, and then it hit me too, she said, the other times when he was prompting me to come and bring this to you, I kept denying it, and I kept denying it. No, it wasn't her saying that, it was me. After it all had been said and done, it was him telling me this. It came in my heart, and he's like, if I had answered your prayer... Wait, I'm getting confused here, okay. If she had came by the first time God had prompted her to, I hadn't said a prayer. I hadn't got on my knees and asked God, please help. If you're there, please show it. If she came up any other time, then it wouldn't have been as rewarding. It wouldn't have been as life-shattering. Not shattering, but just shaking. It wouldn't have been as amazing. It wouldn't have hit me like that. He kept prompting her, and she kept just ignoring it at the time. But the final last time, when she ended up showing up, I had just said the prayer. Everything was perfect for her to come over, because I had just given up everything to God. I had just got on my knees and everything. So she shows up, and she does that. That built my faith so much. Because if she had showed up any other time, it would have been perfect. It would have been wonderful. We would have had the money. But the way it worked out, when she did show up, it was a couple minutes after I made that prayer. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I'm not good on this yet. I'm trying to get this testimony out. When she did show up, it was the perfect timing, and he planned it like that. I mean, he was prompting her to come, and she could have came, and it would have still been good. But the way it worked out, I'm just trying to explain how God works sometimes. If he come on the time when we would want him to, you're not going to get it. You will get the benefits. You'll get the $100. But when the perfect time happens, it's like you see, hey, yes, God is saying, I am here. I did hear you. I do see what you're going through. You just asked me that. So now I am bringing this lady over here with the money, which you would have got before anyway. But now not only will you get the money, you're going to get to build your faith. Do you understand now what I'm saying? There was another time when I needed a certain amount of money, and it was right down to the T, and we needed it quick. And my sons and I would always go to the library and pick out videos, read books and stuff like that, and this one day, I had this deep impression of him saying, take your boys to the library. Take your boys to the library. I was like, huh? Okay. And I just kind of went about my day washing clothes, just every day, stay-at-home mother stuff. And he kept saying, you need to take your sons to the library. So I was like, okay. I said, boys, we're going to the library. And then I get them ready. It was two boys. I had two boys at the time. I've got three, but No, I mean, it was 3 at the time, but it was only 2 of them there with me. My baby at the time was like 4, 5, and I don't think he was with me at the time. I think it was just my 2 older boys, which at the time they were both under 13. But I go, we're going to the library. So we get to the library, and then God's like, it's weird. I still think of this. He starts saying, go over there in that aisle of books over there. It just almost like it just brightened up in this aisle where these books were at. It's almost like a beam of light just went right over towards it so I would follow it. And I went over there. And there was this one book that was standing out. It was like, hallelujah, hallelujah. It was like it was around this one book that was just sitting there. And of course, you know, I was guided to that book and I picked it up. And lo and behold, when I opened it up, the amount of money that I needed to pay this bill was in that book. How do you explain that? There's no way to explain it. Because if you think about it, the librarian, she walks around with this cart. She's picking up all these books. She's putting them back up on the shelves. She's checking them, making sure everything's okay with them. They would have seen the money. The way the book was, the money was folded in there. It wasn't shut all the way. How do you explain that? You can't. There's only one explanation. That's God. It's God taking care of his children. And that's how God has been. He's been doing that all this time. But a lot of times, he'll answer your prayer in ways that, if you're not careful, you're not going to see that, or you're going to take credit for it, or someone else is going to take credit for it. But a lot of times, God is like, no, you're going to know. Everyone is going to know. That is from me. And that's how he likes to do it a lot of times. That's why a lot of times your prayers aren't answered right off. He's trying to prepare you. He's trying to teach you. He's trying to make sure it's at the right, perfect time. So when it does come in fruition, when it does happen, you're without a doubt you're going to know it's God. It could be at a midnight moment. You're going to know there's nothing else it can possibly be. He works in this way. And sometimes he'll answer your prayer right off. It just depends on, he knows what's best for you. He knows the best way to handle things. He knows what's in your heart. He knows what's happening in your life. He knows 5 minutes ahead. He knows your past. He knows everything. And him being such a loving God, a lot of times, he's not going to just want to answer your prayer for what it is you want. He wants to answer it in a way where it doesn't help in one area. It helps in 3 or 4 different areas in your life. And other people will see it, and they'll know that was God. That's the way he works. That's his economy. Not our way. God has everything. He has enough of everything. He can make things. He can take something dead and bring it to life. He can take wasted years and bring about more productive, prosperous years, loving years that will make up for the time that you've wasted or the times you've lost. So please don't ever give up on God. Don't think these wasted times, or give up on God thinking he's not listening, he's not answering, I'm doing something wrong. Please don't think that. Go through this time. Go through the wilderness experience. Go through the quiet times. Go through the times where it seems like nothing's happened. You stay focused. You stay focused on God. You keep giving it to him. You keep praising him through this. I promise you. He will show up. He's already there, but he will make himself known to you. He wants the glory. He wants your faith. He wants your love. And then he wants other people to see his light and love in you. That's how he gets people. That's how God is spreading his word, his love and light will shine through you. People will see. They will see your gratefulness. They will see your just amazement with him. And they'll wonder what it is about you. and then you give your testimony. And I'm still going through things, and I'm still dealing with things. I mean, as you can see, this is not a professional video. I don't have a lot of money. I can't get into all this. So I'm taking things just small steps at a time. I'm just starting with where I'm at and what I've got. But what I have to say that's coming out of my mouth is powerful. I don't need anything but my words, because it's the stories and the testimonies of what He's done in my life, and that you can use. I may be saying something to someone that may needs to hear this. Just listen to my words, because they're about God and what He's done in my life. He wants me to do this. But I kept wanting to get more knowledge and more knowledge about how to do the videos. And I prayed to God. I'm like, God, if this is from you, just please let me know. And then I'm watching YouTube trying to learn more about it. And it's like, I see this video. It's like, quit trying to get more knowledge and do your content now. And that would have been enough right there. But it was a Christian video. So, I mean, that right there told me. And that's how He works. He will guide. He will lead you. He will show you things. He will make you feel better. He will give you back the years the locust has eaten. He will give you beauty for ashes. He will make all things new. Those are the scriptures He has given me, my life scriptures that He leads me on every single day. I have these dreams in my heart. I have these visions that He's giving me. But He's walking me through this time. He's changing me. He's building my faith. And He's building my family's faith. He's taking us through times right now, and we're in a place right now where, well, we'd rather not be. But it's like when Jesus was born in Bethlehem, you know, His parents didn't want it. Bethlehem is a very desolate type place. It's not a rich place. It's not a place. It's a place of like darkness and desolate. It's not a very poor area. But look what came about through that. God may take you to some place. You may be in a certain place. He may have you there for a season. But He will get you out of it when He's got what He's got accomplished with that season, with that area you're at, with the home you're in, with whatever situation you're going through. He will get you out of that when He feels like what He was using was to grow you and to prepare you for your next season. So just be faithful wherever you're at, whatever is happening. Keep your eyes on God. Keep learning, keep growing, keep dreaming. Give Him your dreams and your vision, and He will come about making them come true. You have to be patient. Don't give up on Him, and don't take things in your own hands. Those were my biggest mistakes, or I would already be where I need to be. But all along, He will build your faith, and He will show you and give you little treasures. That's why this is called God's treasures. He will give you treasures to show you, I'm with you in this. We're together. We're working on something here. We're working on getting you these treasures. You know, we're digging here. We're digging there. We're finding gems. You know, priceless gems along the way of knowledge that I need. Because He is building me for the very dreams and desires that He has given me. But it takes time, it takes commitment, and it takes a relationship with Jesus Christ. So I just wanted to come on here and just kind of talk to you a little bit. Hopefully my videos will get better. And I'm doing a video in the kitchen right now, so you can see me, but everything else is dark. So I've got to figure this out a little bit and get it worked out better. But the main important thing is you're hearing what I'm saying. I know God has given me this. He wanted me to put this out for someone needed to hear this. Please comment, please like and subscribe so you can follow me on this journey. And together we can grow and we'll discover what God is doing in our lives. I love you guys. please just comment. Give your prayer request. I'll pray for you. God bless you, and I love you, and just know that your prayers are being heard. You're not forgotten. He will give you beauties for ashes. He will make all things new for you. Bless you.